In 2007, Narendra Modi, in an interview with the journalist Karan Thapar on CNN, walked out when asked if he regrets the mass killing and murder of innocent children and women in 2002 Gujarat. 23 years after his sweat and a fumble in a recent interview with Alex Fredman on the NTTV, the Prime Minister was asked what he learned from the Gujarat or perhaps a different line of questioning. This time his answer was more choreographed, dismissing the magnitude of 2002 violence. He invoked the clean sheet by Supreme Court and painted a bantine picture of his debut as a politician. It seems for a moment as a tough the Prime Minister has led the ghost of Godhra back to the grave, but a cloud of complicity still Narendra Modi in 2023 when BBC released a Part 2 documentary. The Modi questions the Indian government was quick to put a ban on the docu-series brought to the light aftermath of violence in 2002 Gujarat. On the banks of Sabarmati River one of the most violent incidents of the last 2 decades unfolded. It all begins on the February 27, 2002, when compartment of the train returning from the Godhra caught fire. The incident resulted in the death of 58 car sevak was cited as the immediate trigger of the following violence. Much has been said about the cause of this fire. Was it a conspiracy? The accident one is left to speculate. Local newspaper fed the prevalent anti-Muslim prejudice as the Hindu leadership had provoked them by sanctioning and distorting the news. A screw conjecture was manufactured that Muslims were responsible for Godhra and needed to be punished. On 28 February, the front page report of a Gujarati newspaper says read avenge blood with blood. It was a time when the Gujarati Muslim returning from the Hajj headlines like Hindus be aware the Hajj pilgrimage return with a deadly conspiracy were published. The following week after the Godhra Kand incident, a meeting was called at Chief Minister Modi office at 27 February, where some decisions were made without proper records. Several police officers, including Sanjeev P. Ken Sharma, Dipeng Swaro Mekem Tund, and others, were named as a participant of this meeting. This meeting will later to become a point of contention whether unconstitutional action were discussed, which failed to intervene in the mass killing of Muslim human rights. Was reported that the attackers arrived by the thousand in trucks clad in saffron scars, khaki, shouting slogans of the intent to kill. They were armed with swords, three sophisticated explosives, and a gas cylinder. They even had printouts listing the address of Muslim families and their properties obtained the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. They embarked on the murderous rampage. In many cases, the police led the charges, aiming and firing at Muslims who got in the mob away. These riots that went on a month in 2002 February in Gujarat have killed about 790 Muslims as per the official record and about 2,000 as per the Citizen Tribunal report according to the article in the Week magazine. 1679 houses and 1965 shops and 31 godowns were burned. The shop looted and 769 were destroyed in Ahmedabad. The great majority of them belonged to Muslims. In Ahmedabad, violence went for the above roughly 3 months and gradually spread across the state, and for the next 1 year, the Gujarat became the hot furnace of the Muslim Naroda massacre. The Gulbarga Society massacre and the violence in Vadodara city became the horrific sights of a political vendetta. On 28 February, in the morning, a 50,000 strong mob being attacked in the residence in Gulbarga Society, a Muslim neighborhood in the eastern part of the Champaran in Ahmedabad. Former parliamentary Hassan Jafri was also a resident of a Gulbarga Society. As a mob surrounded, Jafri made multiple calls to senior Gujarati state officials, including Narendra Modi, seeking help to police. Help arrived till 6 p.m. Over 69 persons were killed in the cold blooded. Hassan Jafri was among 35 victims who were burnt alive and mutilated, while 31 others went missing and were presumed dead in Chhabra district. 11 men from the mob gang raped a woman named Bilkis Bano, who was 5 months pregnant, along with her mother. and 3 other women charges were filed in the Mumbai court against 19 people as well as 6 police officials and the government doctors over their role in initial investigation in January 2008. 11 of them were sentenced to life imprisonment for the rapes and murder, and the policemen were convicted of the false evidence surviving from the Panch Mahal district recalled that the 40 men chased her and she was caught and gang raped. Her son was crying after gang rape. Her foot was cut with a sharp weapon. A gravedan at the gravesite in the Raham camp told Human Rights Watch. There was at least 3 pregnant women. One of the fetuses was partially hanging out. We had to set it back before the burial. Another woman who washed the body of the female victim before the burial said. She was 17 bodies on March 2 only. One was completely, in fact, all had been burned. Many had been split down the middle next day. 50 more bodies came then. I just threw water over them. I could not stand to be around them anymore after 23 years of the barbaric violence. Citizens for Justice and Peace came out with a report alleging the involvement of the senior Gujarat officials in 2002 riots. Tehelka magazine ran a sting operation called Operation Kalun when many of the seasoned government officials admitted on the tape they were operated under the support of the chief minister. Citizen for Justice and Peace made a report transcribing these tapes. It highlights Modi involvement in delaying army deployment, failing to take action against the senior official who did not control the violence or address the inflammatory media reports. Harbat, who was former MLA from Godhra, who was caught saying on record they were given 3 days to do what they called. Babu Bajrangi, leader of the Bajrang Dal in Gujarat, also admitted on a tape that Modi spoke to him on the phone calling him a real man. He said Modi helped in getting released. He charged 4 High Court judges for a favorable judgment in 2016. Rana Ayu released her book Gujarat Files Anatomy on a cover-up on behalf of Tehelka Rana undercover for 8 months. In 2019, posing a myth tag of a US-based filmmaker, she managed to get access to the senior police officer, bureaucrats, and a politician in Gujarat, even meet Narendra Modi in Miyagi disgust. Citizen for Justice and Peace collectively managed 172 convictions, 124 to life in prison, and many higher courts often reversed the decision in August 2022. The convicted man in the Bilkis Banu case were released from the Godhra jail by the Gujarat government on a request of the remention. They were garlanded by the BJP government upon the release. However, on 28 January 2024, Supreme Court of India struck down the remention of granted and ordered the perpetrator to surrender to the jail authorities within 15 days. After 17 years of judicial struggling bills, Bilkis Banu, Justice Zakia Jay, wife of deceased former parliamentary Hassan Jafri, filed a petition with the Supreme Court of India in 2006, alleging the law enforcement authorities had failed to take the action against the key political figure, including the Chief Minister Narendra Modi in 2008. The Supreme Court directed a special investigation team to examine these claims. The SIT conducted an investigation in 2002, finding that there was not sufficient evidence to prosecute Modi or other officials. The documentary evidence of state complicity in the absence of the fire brigade and the police response were ignored by the investigation agency in April 2014. The Supreme Court expressed satisfaction with the SIT investigation in the time-related case and rejected a plea that called this report as a baseless on 26 May 2014. Narendra Modi took an oath as a Prime Minister of India in 2014.